God's sacred vessel. Lord, please keep these girls' minds free from sin today. To teach creation is a delicate path, and we endeavor to step only where you wish.
So the ball is over and the girls have their matches and are now planning their engagement parties and weddings. Everyone should be happy considering the narrative that they've been sold, but for the most part, these girls all look terrified, and all for very different reasons. It's safe to say that there is apprehension in the air about the future and what is to come once they settle in as wives to these old men, to these commanders. And through all the discomforts and the future planning, in episode 8, we see that a pattern has emerged with the local dentist and his need to touch more than just teeth. And we shouldn't be surprised that it wasn't just Agnes that he would violate. In Becca's dad, we see what it looks like when a system is in place which dares not to question those in authority. We see what happens when people find that upholding a perfect perception is better than uncovering and facing the dark reality. We see what happens when men in powerful positions go unchecked. We get men like Dr. Grove, an emboldened piece of shit who pushes the line further and further with each visit. And who's to stop him when you have women who are complicit like Aunt Vidala around? And I don't mean for this to turn into a let's blame the woman monologue here. So before we go in on Aunt Vidala and how she allows for this cancerous environment to continue, let's go in on the men. Dr. Grove is so unsettling to watch because his outward public perception is an unproblematic and respectable one. He isn't perceived as gnarly or unhinged like, say, that commander that got Becca drunk at the ball. His disposition is always very pleasant and chipper. Even within his own family structure, there are no signs of a sinister human being. Becca, Agnes's best friend, sees nothing wrong with her dad. In one of the earlier episodes titled Green Tea, when Agnes chipped her tooth while eating cake, Becca reassures her with a smile, saying, "Don't worry, my father will help you." Neither does his wife. He's the helpful neighborhood dentist, right? But behind closed doors, Agnes and now Hulda see that monsters do definitely live among them. And they've camouflaged themselves so well into this manufactured society of godliness that now these girls are on edge in just about every single scene. They cannot relax. Hulda's once giddy, gleeful, and very childlike nature is gone, just like that. And it's heartbreaking to see. And while on the subject of these seemingly good on the surface men, I want to pivot to Agnes's father for a second, because even myself as a viewer was completely thrown off by him in episode 8. Because this story is being told through Agnes's eyes, from her viewpoint, we, the audience, learn who makes us uncomfortable, like the dentist, and we also see who we can seemingly trust, like her dad. Agnes has a lot of respect for her father. Her dad is a mediator. Her dad is kind to her. Her dad is sentimental about her. And he seems indifferent about the structure of Gilead. In this conversation he had with Agnes at Becca's engagement party, he says, quote, "You girls are so young." But then immediately flips and says, "But we have to trust the science. This is the only way. The birth rates are down." It honestly felt a bit like betrayal. It's cognitive dissonance because as her father, I want nothing more than to see him do what's in the best interest of his daughter. But this scene shows and is a stark reminder that even he sees his little girl that he raised as nothing more than a product, cattle, a vessel to further strengthen and continue the force that is Gilead. So, who protects these girls? Who can they trust? They are slowly learning not many. I'm really looking forward to seeing Aunt Vidala's backstory and how she rose to become the second most powerful aunt in Gilead, and where her empathy went, assuming that she ever even had any. I need to know how she came to be the protector of men of the system, so much so that she'd gaslight a little girl into thinking that the inappropriate behaviors of a grown adult male were simply false ideas that she conjured up in her head. These young women cannot make a misstep, whether it's their fault or not, and it's indicated that any tarnish caused by them or others can have damning effects on their future, so every girl must move with precision. We saw this in the green tea episode when the girl who spilled her tea because Paula, Agnes's stepmom, tripped her, is now destined to be a colony wife. We saw this in the ball episode when a very old commander got Becca drunk and sullied her prospects with anyone respectable. And now with Hulda, Aunt Vidala sees this as something that may have a negative impact on her engagement, so she convinces her that it never happened. In the episode titled Stadium, which largely focused on Aunt Lydia's rise to power, we do get a glimpse and a few context clues of Aunt Vidala's character. Her and Aunt Lydia worked together as teachers in the world before. In that episode, we saw young Aunt Vidala as the one who sent her male co-worker to the lion's den to get shot while their school was being taken over. Could she have known that? We don't know. When Aunt Lydia would question Gilead forces during this time when they were being gathered and sorted at the stadium, Aunt Vidala was the one shushing her, saying, "There's nothing you can do, just do what they say." Now, do people like that really change? Because Aunt Vidala, she's still shushing women who try to speak up. She's a sweep it under the rug and let's not rock the boat type leader. And these are the worst types of people to have any sort of authority because it creates a do-nothing environment, which abusers love. They thrive in it. Dr. Grove would not be doing this if he didn't think that he'd get away with it. And had Agnes not said anything to Aunt Lydia, he would have. And this actually pisses me off too, that multiple girls had to corroborate his horrid actions for it to be taken seriously. Because Aunt Lydia knew what Hulda told Aunt Vidala about Dr. Grove. But only now that Agnes reinforces that narrative and strongly implies that Dr. Grove was inappropriate with her too, is Aunt Lydia saying that he'll be dealt with. What this episode teaches us is that we should not have to depend on strength and numbers for women to be believed. One is enough, and honestly, one is still too many.